Write a note on Indianness in post-independence Indian English poetry. Marks 10 to 12. Answer. Indian English poetry is quite different from its Western counterpart in themes, imagery, sensibility, and several other aspects. It is endowed with a distinct quality, a special flavor that reflects Indian sensibility and Indian tradition. The pre-independence Indian English poets were derivative and tried to be English poets instead of letting Englishness or Indianness take care of it. Since independence, however, they have freed themselves from the clutches of Englishness and started writing with profound Indianness. Questions often arise regarding what Indianness is. It is an element that shows India through its language, imagery, sensibility, or anything which makes the Indians as Indian. Nissim Ezekiel, who is eulogized as the father of post-independence Indian verse in English, is the foremost among the Indian English poets. Indianness is vividly seen in Ezekiel's fervent wish to bring about some improvement in the conditions of life in India through his poem India and Entertainment. His another poem, The Truth About the Floods, depicts a picture of extremely grim poverty in India. The poem Edinburgh Interlude Lightly is about a typical Indian situation which deals with the traditional rivalry between the daughter-in-law and the mother-in-law. The middle-class people of big cities in India and their life filled with problems are very well described in the poem, The Railway Clerk. The language used in Nissim Ezekiel's poetry reflects the Indianization of the English language. In some poems, he ridicules the manner in which a large number of Indians use the English language, making mistake of grammar, syntax, idiom, and tense. Another illustrious poet Janta Mahapatra's poetry deals with Orient landscape and Indian sensibility. In Dawn at Puri, Mahapatra underlines the importance of Puri and what it means to the Hindus. Worshipping and rites of the widows, crows cawing and the skull indicating poverty of India etc. bear Indianness in his poetry. In the poem Exile, the long-haired priest, the logic of good and evil, etc. depict Orient and Indian life. The Indian sensibility of A.K. Ramanujan is sharpened by his Western education and environment. He portrays the Indian scene from across the Atlantic with complete artistic detachment and irony. In his poem River, he talks about an Indian river named the Vaikai. The description of the Vaikai reminds us of any Indian river. The straw and women's hair clogging the water gates, the stones like buffaloes and crocodiles, etc. are Indian images. The names of the cows taken away by the flood, Gopi and Brinda, are typically Indian. Kamala Das, in her poem, The Old Playhouse, describes the relentless routine of Indian women undergone through their life and its tragic effect on their psyche. In Composition, Das as a typical Indian woman accepts her husband irrespective of the age difference as he was chosen for her by her father. Her use of words, idioms, and mainly symbolism contribute to what is termed as Indianization of English. Keki Darawala, another post-colonial Indian English poet, shows a very credible and authentic picture of India. It is also true that his sensibility is modern, and at a time Indian also. Not only Indian myths and legends, India's rich cultural heritage is shown in his poetry with the use of local Indian words. With his use of powerful and vivid imagery, he has shown the landscape of India on a large scale. Somewhere he shows the pathetic condition of the holy river Ganga, the traditional rituals and rites performed on its bank, and somewhere he shows temples and other Indian landscape in a broad way. Hindu philosophy dealing with karma, maya, nirvana etc. is depicted in the poem Charity, Three Faces. Darawala presents India and its cities in many poems in his poetry collection, The Keeper of the Dead. In Monologue in the Chambal Valley, he shows the pitiable condition of the Indian women in the male-dominated society. The above are just a handful of examples concerning Indianness in the realm of Indian English poetry. There are several other post-colonial poets like Adil Jasawala, Vikram Seth, R. Parthasarathi, Jeev Patel, A.K. Mehrotra etc. who have rendered Indian English poetry a special Indianized flavor with excellence and fecundity. In fact, Indianness is the very hallmark of their creation. Finished. Please subscribe to the channel for more updates of ready-made notes on English literature. Also, please share this channel to help any student pursue a degree in English literature. Please do not forget to subscribe, like and comment.